Hi, I'm Kimberly Elise, and you may know me from morning coffee in my secret garden. But today, I'm baking sourdough bread. Let me tell you how I do it. So don't come for me. I don't use a scale, and I really don't measure. I go off a feel. I measure with my heart. So that's my method. This is my sourdough starter that stays in the fridge. Okay? Some people do discard. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I may take some out of here and use it for pancakes or bagels or cheese crackers. It just depends on how I'm feeling. So what I like to do is I like to take some of my discard that sits in the fridge, and probably like maybe every week I will feed it, okay? But her name is Louise. I started with Louise, I think it was April of 2024. So she's been with me for a long time. So Louise, I appreciate you, girl. So I take a little starter, and I put it in another mason jar. You can use whatever vessel you like, but I like to use a mason jar. I always start with a half a cup of hot water, and then I use my bread flour, okay? So what I do, I take my bread flour, and I like to use heaping scoops. So I'm not sure. I'll take a little and I'll put it in there, and I'm gonna put 2 in here today. To start with 2. Okay, so I'm gonna put both of them in. So now it looks like this. So next I'm gonna take a little water. Again, I measure with my heart. You can do whatever it is that you like to do. I want it to be a thick pancake batter. Okay? You don't want it to look like soup. So I'm gonna add a little more. Usually I'll use a spatula, but I didn't have that in arm's reach. So it's really sticking to the back of this spoon. So I'm going to add a little more flour because this is what it looks like, okay? So just put a little bit more flour in here and a little more water. I'm making bread for my family, not making it for a football team, so I don't need a lot of starter. And so it's starting to feel like the consistency that I'm looking for. So I'm gonna just take my spatula and get as much of it as I can. Okay, so I've gotten it off of my spoon. So now I'm gonna take my spatula. I'm just going to use the spatula to finish mixing it. So this is the consistency that it should have. See, it's thick. Turn it over, it doesn't fall out. Just take a rubber band and just give it a marking on the size of the dough when we started. I take my lid and I just place it on top. I don't screw it or anything like that. I'm gonna let this sit out on the counter. It's probably gonna take at least a day for it to double in size because that's what you're looking for. You wanna make sure that it doubles in size before you're able to bake with it. If you have any questions, drop a comment below. Okay, love you, bye.